my tutorial for my Mr. Teddy Bear. And so you'll already have the PDF printout pattern. It's 2 pages. What you're gonna need is 2 skeins of taupe yarn. You'll have a little bit extra. You won't use all 2 skeins. And some scissors, a polyfill stick, and some polyfill. You'll also need 3 scrap pieces of black yarn, chunky chenille yarn, or you can embroider your eyes for the eyes and the nose. So yeah, again, I use the just 6-inch pieces. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so we're going to create our slip knot and cast on chain. You'll leave a tail to close up the bottom with, about 9 inches. Create your slip knot. I say about two finger widths. Now we'll do 13 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Now we're going to make a circle, and we are going to connect by taking the tail and putting it through the last loop and cinching it tight. Okay, we're going to go through each leg of the chain to create a stitch. Pull the yarn from the back to the front. You'll want to take your last loop right where your tail is. So pull that through there. Stick the tail to the inside for now. Make sure you have 14 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we're going to go around 3 more times. And then we'll fold it in half to keep the stitches snug together so there's no slack in between the stitches. Always be sure to pull your yarn from behind the last stitch. And you can tell when you're starting a new row once you've passed the tail. pull that tail out and we will fold this in half. You want to make sure that the knitting stitches are facing the outside, the pearls are on the inside. And then just keep going from side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then flip it over and continue. And we're gonna do this for a total of 11 rows. So I'll be back as soon as I finish 11. Okay, so we now should have 11 rows, and that is your stomach of your teddy bear. And we're now gonna work on the neck and head. So we're gonna decrease for the neck. So you're gonna take 2 stitches and knit them together. I always keep the one on the right on the bottom. So knit 2 together and then knit 2 single stitches. Knit 2 together and knit 2 single stitches. Knit 2 together and then knit 2 single stitches and knit 2 together. So you should now have 10 stitches for the head. So 5 and 5 on each side. And we're going to continue knitting around from side to side. And we're going to go up 8 more rows. So I'll come back when I've finished the 8 rows. Okay, so we've done our 8 rows and now we have our body, neck, and head. And we are going to trim this off. So that there is enough for closure. And we are going to go ahead and close the bottom of it. And how you do that is going outside in. So go through each of these chain legs. And then cinch it a little bit. Okay, don't pull it too tight. Your yarn might snap. All right, keep going around. Cinch it tight. Still have a little hole there, so we're going to go through a little bit more. Just to close that up good. Find another stitch to go through. So there's just enough to put the tail through. I tie a knot and then just stuff that to the inside. Okay, this is when I usually look at it and see where my crossovers happened at the neck, and I'll decide where I want the front and back to be. So since the back has a crossover right here, I'm gonna go ahead and make this my front of the teddy bear. And so what I do now is I put some polyfill in the belly. Through the head. Oops, I lost it. There it is. Okay. And so that's probably good enough, maybe a little bit more. Now I'm gonna put some into the head. Kind of make sure that they're a little bit separate. I don't fill the neck with polyfill, just to, here we go. Now we're gonna close up the head. So for this part, you're gonna do inside out. Just make sure you don't pull that one out. So because this is an easier than closing the bottom, you don't have to cinch it as you go as much. And then there's the last one, so you can pull it snug now. It looks like a peanut. Now we're gonna tie a knot just like we did in the bottom and put that through the hole. Okay, so here is the body and the head. And next we are gonna go on to the arms. So I'm going to show you one of the arms, and I usually do that right at the shoulder of it, where it's just below the neck, kind of there. And so let's go ahead and start that. And how we're going to do that is by leaving a tail again, because you're going to weave that in at the end. We're going to create 3 stitches. So let's go here, and we'll just make a loop right here. Actually, I'm going to do that a little differently. We're going to put it through this way. And we're going to make 3 of these loops. So I'll do 1 there, one there, and let's just do it in a triangle, and one here at the bottom. So just pull that working yarn through that stitch. Getting it started is a little bit harder than it is to actually do it. Just continue knitting from the back to the front. So you can see that it's a knit stitch on the outside. See? If you do it the opposite direction, it will look like a purl coming from the back. So you're gonna do it this way, and then this way, and this way. So just push it down through that loop, and you'll see it's going to create the knit stitch like to match the body. And we're just going to keep going in a circle around for 3 rows. So 2 more after you create the loops. So here's the 3rd. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to increase by 1 stitch in between 2 stitches. So there will be a total of 4. Just like that, we're going to create a loop in the space in between. And then continue knitting around these 4 for 4 more times. So this is our 2nd time around. And if you need a stitch marker, you definitely can use one. I used them when I finger crocheted, but that was it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And you'll kind of see yep, that's about how we want it. I do not put filling in the arms, only the legs for the polyfill. Okay, so we're going to trim this off with a little tail, and we're going to close it up just like we did the head. Inside out. Stick it inside one of these spots here. Oopsie. Gonna have to get it going first. Maybe that's not a big enough spot. There we go. Okay. So there's the arm, Now we're going to take this tail and we're just going to weave it through here, a couple of stitches, and here, and I'm going to just again tie a knot and stick it to the inside. So you're gonna have another arm just like that. Right over here. So create your second arm just like we did the first one. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you the leg right now. And that is you're gonna look for 2 chain stitches on each side because we are, and leave again a tail. So kind of at the hip areas here on both sides, I'm gonna do whoopsie. So here we go. 1, 2, and then kind of make them close to each other. So I'm going to do these 2 stitches right next to the other 2. So like I said, this one is going to start out with 4. It's a little snug down here. So just push that yarn through. There we go. See, we have 4 loops there. And now we are going to knit 3 rows around, just like the arm. So that was 1, and this is 2. We've knitted our 3 stitches around. So we are going to increase in between the stitches. I'm just going to make a couple of increases. Since there's 4, we'll do 6. So right in between these 2, another stitch, knit 1, and then make another stitch. should be a total of 6 now. And we're going to continue knitting this for a few more rows. So there's a total of 8 rows in the legs. I just continue going around in a circle. And unlike the arms, we are going to fill polyfill into the legs. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, you can do your bear any color you'd like to. Let's see where we're at now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let me make sure. And the back is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. I'm going to go around a couple more times here. Couple more loops. And then we will cut off the tail. And fill this little, oops, got fluff. Fill this leg with some polyfill. Okay. I'm just gonna do a little bit. I just didn't like the legs to be as flat. The arms are pretty stiff, but the legs were not, so I adjusted that. And now we're gonna go inside out, just like all the other closing spots. Is the leg. I'll tie a knot, and I'm going to trim a little bit of this off, and then just tuck this little knot in to the inside. And now we're going to do the same we did with the arm with this tail. You just go through a couple of stitches to secure it. And then I'm gonna tie a knot here and push it to the inside. Where you can find a little space there. Okay. All right, so now you can go ahead and finish your second arm and leg so that they'll be matching. And I will come back when I'm done with mine and do the ears, the snout, and the face. There's one. And we're just gonna keep going down the head. So there's 2. 3 and 4. So they're going to be all right next to each other. And then we are going to go up for a second row. Keep the stitches kind of small. So you're going to knit all 4 of these stitches for the second row. Now, he looks funny. So now that we have 2 rows of the 4 stitches, we're going to knit row 3, and we're going to knit the first 2 stitches. You will then place the first stitch over the second stitch. So kind of like when you cast off a blanket. And then we're going to knit the third stitch and put that second stitch over it. Same thing here. We're going to knit the last 4th one, put the 3rd one over it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to insert another loop at the bottom of the base of it. So you're just going to add another loop there. Insert it to the 4th one, and now we're going to end it. So we're going to trim this just like the other, just a little tail. We're going to put that tail through that. And then we're going to weave this tail in near the ear. And let's do it into one more. And then we're going to tie a knot and tuck it to the inside. Like that. And then you're going to create your second ear the exact same way. And I'll be back after I do that to do the snout. Okay, now that we're done with 2 ears, we're going to start on the bear's snout. So I usually go 1 stitch row above the neck, which is right here. So you're going to look for 4 spots, 1, 2, 3, 4, right in the middle of the lower middle of the bear's face. So you're going to put 4 stitches at the bottom. There's 1. This loop to make another. There's 2. They're kind of snug. 3. And right next to that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so there we have 4. Now we're going to do 1 on the side. And 2 on the top. So we're going to create a total of 8. There's 4, 5, 6. 7, and then 1 on the side to complete it. All right, we're in the home stretch. Now we are going to do a row around. And just 1 row for this one. Keep the tail out there. My first one, I did a bigger snout, and I like the smaller one actually. This is a tight one. I had to actually look up whether a bear had a nose or a muzzle or a snout. So, a snout it was. All right. Now we are going to close this up just like we do with all of the others. And so, I lost my scissors. Oh, there they are. Again, we're going to have a tail. And we're going to go through inside out, inside out, through each of the 8 loops. My favorite part's coming up, the eyes and nose. This bear kind of reminds me of the snuggle bear. Okay. Again, we're gonna tie a knot and stick it to the inside. Wherever there is a hole, it's pretty tight. Okay, there we go. And this one as well, we're gonna go any place that's close to the snout. And knot. And stuff it to the inside. All right, so there's the muzzle. Now, to do the nose and the eyes. If you prefer doing it with an embroidery needle, you can do that with thinner yarn. I just chose the thicker yarn as my preference. So I kind of like my eyes to be close together. So I'm gonna put my yarn right here and right here. And I'm gonna tie it in a knot. Oops. Kind of loosely actually. And so I can twist it around to go into the inside. I got little shedding. So we'll do the same with this one. Tie it into a knot. And twist it around. Then I kind of play with it to make them even. And now we're going to do the placement of the nose. I kind of go through one end. Actually, this one needs a little bit of a longer piece. So, be right back. Okay, so this one is about 9 inches long. Because I like to knot both ends, so I'm going to go through and kind of see where I want it to be. The top of the snout. Let me see. Because I feel like placement of your face is important. So there's my nose. Again, I'm going to go ahead and knot each end and make sure you're putting it through a different stitch here. Than where the actual nose is. So just tuck it in really close to that. And there you go. Make sure you got all your black frays off, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And yeah, thanks so much. Happy knitting!